Have you ever looked at your computer or smartphone and wondered where everything goes? Every photo you take, every message you send, every video you watch, it all has to be stored somewhere. We call this data. Right now, we store this digital information on things like hard drives, flash drives, and massive computer servers that fill entire buildings. These are amazing pieces of technology, but they have limits. They take up a lot of space, they need a constant supply of electricity, and they don't last forever. What if there was a better way? What if nature had already designed the perfect storage device? Imagine a hard drive so small, you would need a microscope to see it. Imagine it could hold more information than all the computers in the world combined. Now imagine this hard drive could last for thousands of years without needing any power. It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, doesn't it? But this technology is not fiction. It's very real, and it's already inside every living thing on our planet, including you. We are talking about DNA, the molecule of life. It's the blueprint that tells a tree how to grow or a bird how to fly, and scientists have now discovered how to use it to store our digital world. This is not just a wild idea. It is a rapidly developing field of science called DNA data storage. Researchers are learning how to translate the ones and zeros of computer code into the A, T, C, and G molecules of DNA. Think of it like learning a new language. We are teaching our computers to speak the language of life. This process allows us to write digital files, from books and pictures to complex software, into the very fabric of a DNA molecule. It's a way of archiving our human knowledge in the most ancient and durable information system known to science. The implications of this are truly staggering. We are creating more data today than ever before in human history. Every minute we upload millions of hours of video, send billions of emails, and create countless documents. Our current storage solutions are struggling to keep up with this data explosion. They require vast warehouses, enormous amounts of energy, and constant maintenance. DNA offers a solution that is elegant, efficient, and incredibly powerful. It promises a future where information is not a heavy burden, but a weightless, timeless resource preserved for generations to come. So, what does it really mean to say we can store the world's data in DNA? Let's try to wrap our minds around this. It means that every piece of digital information that exists, every single web page, every social media post, every scientific paper, every movie ever filmed, and every song ever recorded, could be encoded into synthetic DNA molecules. Instead of being spread across millions of servers and data centers that span entire cities, all of that information could be held in a physical space that is astonishingly small. How small, you ask? Scientists who study this field have done the calculations, and the results are mind-blowing. They estimate that all of the world's current digital data could fit into a container about the size of an ordinary coffee mug. That's right. Take a moment to think about that. Look around you. Consider the phone in your pocket, the laptop on your desk, and the servers humming away in some distant building. All of the information contained within them, and all the information from everyone else on the planet, could be condensed into a small cup filled with a few grams of DNA. This incredible feat is possible because of DNA's amazing density. Information density is a measure of how much data can be packed into a given amount of space. Compared to our best technology, DNA is in a league of its own. It is millions of times denser than the most advanced hard drives or flash memory chips we can manufacture today. A data center that currently occupies a warehouse the size of a football field could, in theory, be replaced by a DNA archive that fits on the tip of your finger. It changes our entire perspective on what it means to store information. This isn't just about saving space, it's about preserving our legacy. Hard drives can fail after a few years. Magnetic tapes degrade over decades. Even the cloud is not permanent. It relies on physical servers that need to be constantly powered and replaced. DNA, when stored in cool, dry, and dark conditions, can remain stable for tens of thousands of years. We have recovered readable DNA from ancient fossils of mammoths and early humans. This technology could allow us to create a true time capsule of human civilization, an archive that could be read by future generations long after our current technologies have turned to dust. To appreciate DNA storage, we must understand the scale of information we create. Our world runs on data, an invisible ocean defining our lives. This is the Digital Deluge. Data doubles every 2 years, reaching over 180 zettabytes in 2024. That's enough to fill the Grand Canyon multiple times. This includes research, records, and archives. Current storage methods are unsustainable. We're running out of space and energy. Data centers consume land, materials, and electricity using as much power as a city. This is increasingly unsustainable. We know the problem, the massive, ever-expanding universe of data. Let's look at our solution, DNA. It's incredibly compact. Its molecular structure, perfected over billions of years, stores life's blueprint in a microscopic space. The numbers are astonishing. Scientists calculated DNA's storage capacity. It surpasses anything we've engineered. It's a fundamental leap forward. 1 gram of DNA, about the weight of a paperclip, can store 215 petabytes of data. That's like 215,000 1-terabyte hard drives. It defies belief. That 1 gram could hold about 45 million HD movies. All that data, packed into something smaller than a piece of candy. This is revolutionary. DNA stores information at the molecular level. We're using the smallest building blocks to write our information. It's nature's nanotechnology, optimized for density and stability, the ultimate miniaturization. Let's connect these facts. We have a digital deluge of data, and the power of DNA where a single gram can hold a massive amount of data. Now let's see how storing the world's data in a coffee mug actually holds up. The answer reveals one of the most exciting prospects in modern technology. It shows us a clear path toward a future of information abundance. All the world's data could be stored in a mass of DNA. DNA is quite dense. The coffee mug is an analogy for an astonishingly small volume compared to city-sized data centers. It illustrates the move to a future where information is lightweight and energy efficient. How can a biological molecule store a digital movie? DNA and digital data are both information systems using simple codes. Computers use binary code while life uses a chemical language with 4 letters: A, G, C, and T. These bases form the genetic alphabet. DNA is like a very long book written with only 4 characters. The order of these letters matters. DNA's stable, high-density 4-letter system can be read and written. DNA is structured as a double helix, where A pairs with T and C pairs with G, crucial for stability. Understanding this alphabet is the foundation for translating our digital world into the language of life. We can build a bridge between the computer's binary alphabet of 0 and 1, and DNA's chemical alphabet of A, T, C, and G. We need a translation key that converts digital bits into DNA bases. This is the core principle of DNA data storage. We are simply translating information from one symbolic language to another. The simplest way is to assign a unique DNA base pattern to each possible pattern in binary. Since we have 4 DNA bases, we can use pairs of binary digits or bits to represent each one. For example, 00 represents A, 01 represents C, 10 represents G, and 11 represents T. Let's store the letter H. The binary code for H is 01001000. This becomes 4 pairs, 010010 and 00, which translates to the DNA sequence CAGA. This process can be scaled up to encode anything into a unique sequence of A, T, C, and G bases. Once we have our translated DNA sequence, the next step is to physically create a DNA molecule with that exact sequence of bases. This process is called DNA synthesis, and it involves building custom DNA strands from scratch, one base at a time. Think of it as a highly advanced 3-dimensional printer that uses the chemical building blocks of A, T, C, and G to assemble a molecule according to our digital blueprint. This technology has existed for decades, but now it's being adapted for data storage. The result is a small tube containing billions of copies of our custom-made DNA molecules. This powder is our final storage medium, incredibly stable and dense. All the information is now locked into the stable chemical bonds of these synthetic molecules. To preserve it, this DNA powder is stored in a cool, dry, and dark environment where it can last for centuries. To read the data back, we reverse the process using DNA sequencing. The computer then uses the same translation key in reverse, and our original data is perfectly retrieved. This is the complete cycle of writing and reading data using the language of life. The idea of using DNA to store information remained largely in the realm of scientific speculation for many years. In 2012, a landmark experiment from Harvard University captured the world's attention. Led by geneticist George Church, a team stored a diverse collection of digital files in DNA. This included a 53,000-word book, images, and even software. The data, translated into A, T, C, and G bases, was synthesized into custom DNA molecules. The final product, a minuscule amount of DNA, held the entire collection. Using DNA sequencing, the team perfectly retrieved the book, images, and ran the software flawlessly. This proved that DNA was not just a theoretical storage medium, but a practical one. The 2012 Harvard experiment sparked research into DNA data storage. Tech companies took notice. Microsoft partnered with the University of Washington to scale up DNA data storage. In 2016, they announced a breakthrough, encoding and decoding over 200 megabytes of data. This included the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, books, and a music video showcasing the system's robustness. They developed algorithms for efficiency and error correction, breaking files into overlapping segments. The successful retrieval of all the data without loss was a landmark achievement. A lead researcher held up a test tube, remarking that all the data was in the tiny smear at the bottom, signaling DNA's potential as a solution for global data archiving. Groundbreaking successes are shifting DNA data storage toward commercial development. A new ecosystem of companies began to emerge, each aiming to solve a piece of the puzzle required to make this technology mainstream. These companies are actively building the tools that will form the foundation of a DNA-based data economy. Companies like Twist Bioscience and Illumina are at the forefront of this movement. Twist manufactures synthetic DNA, recognizing the potential in data storage. Illumina, a world leader in DNA sequencing, is adapting its technology for data retrieval. The synergy between these companies is creating a complete end-to-end workflow, a clear sign that DNA data storage is maturing. They envision a future where DNA data centers will work alongside traditional cloud data centers, preserving humanity's most valuable data. DNA data storage isn't just a step forward, it's a leap. Its true power lies in its mind-boggling density. Imagine a data center the size of several football fields packed with servers. Now picture all that information fitting on your thumbnail. DNA can store millions of times more data per gram than any hard drive or SSD. This isn't just about saving space, it's about freeing information from the limits of hardware. For space missions or remote research, DNA storage means sending entire libraries in a vial lighter than a feather. It democratizes archiving not just for governments but for universities, museums, even small communities. No more sprawling warehouses, just a tiny, secure vial. The power of the infinitesimal is making our digital legacy accessible, manageable, and nearly invisible. We can preserve knowledge without being buried by it. DNA storage changes the very scale of what's possible. DNA's second superpower, durability. Hard drives fail in years, tapes in decades. Even the cloud is just servers that wear out. DNA stored properly can last thousands of years, nature's own time capsule. We've read DNA from Neanderthals and mammoths tens of thousands of years old. Imagine archiving today's knowledge in DNA. Future generations could recover it long after our tech is obsolete. DNA's universal chemistry means it can be read as long as science exists. This is how we avoid a digital dark age, by preserving our story on a geological timescale. DNA storage gives our knowledge a chance to outlast civilizations. It's the closest we've come to making information truly timeless. DNA storage isn't just dense and durable, it's energy efficient. Data centers devour up to 2% of global electricity, much of it just to keep servers cool. DNA flips the script. Once data is written, it needs no power, no cooling, nothing. Store it and forget it, literally. For cold storage, archives rarely accessed. DNA slashes energy costs and carbon footprint. It's resilient too, no power grid needed, immune to outages and crises. DNA archives are robust, off-grid backups for humanity's most vital data. This is sustainability in action. DNA storage isn't just efficient, it's future-proof. It's the ultimate cold storage for a warming world. DNA data storage is revolutionary but not ready for everyday use yet. The main obstacles, speed and cost. Writing and reading DNA is slow, hours or days for what computers do in seconds. It's also expensive. Storing a gigabyte in DNA costs thousands versus cents on a hard drive. For now, DNA is for high-value long-term archives, not daily files. But these are engineering problems, not fundamental limits. Costs are dropping, speeds are rising, and new techniques are emerging. Just as computers shrank from rooms to pockets, DNA storage will get faster and cheaper. The path is clear, relentless innovation. The future is coming, one molecule at a time. DNA storage faces another challenge: error correction. Synthesis and sequencing can introduce tiny mistakes, wrong or missing bases. With billions of bases, even low error rates can corrupt data. The solution? Redundancy and smart coding. Files are split into chunks, each chunk copied many times. When reading, the system compares copies, majority rules out errors. Advanced codes like digital checksums help pinpoint and fix mistakes. By combining physical and logical redundancy, researchers achieve perfect data retrieval. Mastering error correction is key to trusting DNA with our most valuable information. We're entering a new era, where digital and biological worlds merge. DNA storage isn't just an upgrade, it's a paradigm shift. As speed and cost improve, DNA will become part of daily life. Imagine national archives, libraries, and museums storing their entire collections in DNA, safe for millennia. DNA's durability makes it perfect for space missions and extreme environments. It's lightweight, radiation-resistant, and needs no power. The future could see DNA not just storing data, but computing within living cells. Smart therapeutics might one day diagnose and treat diseases using information stored in their own DNA. Data will become a living, active part of our world. DNA storage is set to redefine technology, medicine, and our very concept of information. To fully cement the revolutionary nature of this technology in our minds, let's conclude with one final striking comparison. We have discussed the numbers, the zettabytes of data and the petabytes per gram. But sometimes a simple, powerful image can convey an idea more effectively than any statistic. It helps to ground this futuristic concept in something tangible, something we can all visualize and understand. Let's take the entirety of our digital universe, all the data on Earth, and consider what it would look like and feel like if it were translated into the language of life, into the elegant and efficient medium of DNA. If all the data on Earth were to be stored in synthetic DNA molecules, the resulting physical substance would weigh less than a single bag of sugar you might buy at the grocery store. It would be under 1,000 kilograms. Think about that for a moment. All the emails, all the websites, all the scientific research, all the movies, and every single photo ever uploaded, the entire digital footprint of human civilization, would have a physical weight comparable to a common household item. It is a scale of compression that is almost impossible to comprehend, moving information from the realm of the impossibly large to the manageably small. Now, let's consider the volume. This DNA containing all of our collective knowledge would not fill a warehouse or even a large room. It could comfortably fit within the palm of your hand. You could hold the entire digital world, a universe of information, in a small container that you could close your fingers around. This is the ultimate fulfillment of the promise of miniaturization. It transforms data from a burdensome physical infrastructure that sprawls across our planet into something personal, portable, and profoundly compact. The library of humanity could become an object you carry in your pocket. And finally, let's remember the dimension of time. If this small, lightweight archive were kept in a cool, dry, and dark place, it would remain perfectly readable for well over 1,000 years, and likely much longer. It would outlast our buildings, our current languages, and every piece of technology we currently use. This is the true power of DNA data storage. It is dense, it is durable, and it is sustainable. It offers us a chance to write our story not on stone or paper, but in the immortal alphabet of life itself, creating a legacy that has the potential to last for ages.